do videos where I suggest how a book or a movie could have been improved. With Kong vs. Godzilla Dawn of Roar now out, I thought I'd ride the coattails of that and talk about a monster movie. But I don't have any hot takes on any monster movies. When I watch one, I think, yeah, that was okay. It had a giant monster in it. You've seen one, you've seen them all, I say. So I can't do an in-depth redo of any of the giant monster movies out there. So I want to talk about 3 monster movies I'd like to see. Movies where I wouldn't say, yeah, that was okay. It had a giant monster in it. And don't say, this is just Giant Monster High, the Monster High School rom-com. I've seen like 10 monster movies. I hope I'm being creative enough that I'm pitching some interesting ideas we haven't seen before, but if not, well, you've been warned. Number 1, why do these movies always have to be set in the present day? Kong Skull Island was set in the 1970s, but once the soldiers get to the island, it felt like it could have been in any time period, making the idea of it being a period piece kind of moot. Play around with the time periods more. There's a movie called Postapocalyptic from the 1980s that's set in feudal Korea. That's before tanks, bombs, and guns were invented. How did they kill the monster? I'm instantly more interested than I am in your typical kaiju movies. Ultimately, the story behind how Postapocalyptic got made is more interesting than the movie itself, but they were at least trying something different. I have to applaud them for that. But what if you did a Conan the Barbarian type movie, but with a 200-foot tall monster thrown in, being controlled by an evil wizard, or the barbarian and the evil wizard have to team up to defeat it? That would be fun. There's no shortage of interesting time periods you could throw a giant monster in, and if it's pre-atomic bomb, then I'm already more invested in how our heroes are going to succeed in killing it. Or maybe they don't succeed. Do a post-apocalyptic movie, like The Road, but then King Ghidorah shows up. That would have been such a better movie if King Ghidorah showed up. Typically, apocalypse movies are rooted in zombies or nuclear aftermath, but have we ever had one where the world was incapable of dealing with the glut of monsters? This one would be more about a particular human or tribe of humans in their struggle to survive, and less about the spectacle of monsters destroying stuff. You could do a How to Train Your Dragon situation, where a youngin' who doesn't remember life from when we lived in a society finds and befriends a young kaiju. The kid convinces the monster to wreak havoc on those who wronged him, take it in a really dark direction. This setting would be a fun backdrop for a monster movie, just like putting it in the past or in a fictional bygone era. Speaking of bygone eras, what if you did a Cold War monster movie? A James Bondy Man from U.N.C.L.E. where our agents are trying to get the better of each other, but also trying to avoid giant monsters. I don't know what the consensus is on sci-fi tech in spy movies, but I like it. This would be the perfect place to go nuts with that. Of course your agent would have an ink pen that doubles as a laser. He might run into a 600-ton turtle on a mission. Borrow a page from Jurassic Park. The government wants their spy to steal some kaiju eggs so they can train monsters to destroy their enemies. Much like Dennis Nedry, I can't see this working out, but it would be fun to see our characters make the attempt. Along the way, our spy gets trapped in some abandoned city. Maybe Japan was evacuated near the beginning of the Age of Monsters, and now kaiju roam the archipelago with impunity. He has to team up with enemy agents that are also in Japan, maybe for the same reason he is. He learns that even though their nations are at war, these people aren't much different than him. They're putting their lives on the line just like he is, and any differences they do have, they will have to put aside if they want to survive. Depending on what mood you're in, your spy can either survive the movie and resign, realizing he's in the wrong line of work and goes to join the monster rescue squad or something, or he dies to save his newfound friends. And that's it for this video. I know I'll never see anything like any of these movie ideas. Kaiju movies are already kinda rare these days, so the idea of someone doing one but trying something new and untested is laughable. But this is something I enjoyed, so I thought maybe you guys would too. That's it for now. Next week I'll be back talking about something else. See you then.